The War Memorial definitely is the one place, is the sacred place for Australia to remember what our forefathers have done for us.
My daughter Dakota is 13 and my son Carlin is 11, and we like to come to the War Memorial regularly as a family. It gets to show the kids our history and also what people sacrifice for us to be able to live in a free world.
So when I came to a place like this and I see what they do for their soldiers, I feel it is a great thing, because it's like telling the soldiers and telling Australians that even if you die for this country, you don't die in vain.
The role of the Australian War Memorial grows significantly year on year. Today, just a fraction of the vast collection of artefacts can be displayed due to limited space. Space that is also required to increasingly reflect the experiences of peacekeeping and humanitarian operations.
The opportunity and the responsibility our nation now has is to tell the stories of what has been done in recent years in Afghanistan, Iraq, the Solomon Islands and East Timor, and in our peacekeeping operations, which are embarrassingly underdone at the memorial.
To ensure that the memorial can continue to honour sacrifices of Australians who gave their lives in war, a future plan has been developed. Sensitively connected to the existing landscape, the detailed plans ensure the original facade remains unchanged. Comprehensively expanding the space for an enhanced visitor experience, the project will commence with 3 new components of work: the CEW Bean Building extension, a new northern hall and atrium with galleries, and a new southern entrance. These will be followed by the refurbishment of the main building and new galleries in the lower level. A new entryway is disguised under the existing forecourt. It's here, below the original structure, that new, enticing spaces welcome visitors to a genuinely connected experience. Moving through the memorial, the detailed plans finally deliver the room required to tell the many untold stories of loyalty and service, while allowing for more artefacts and experiences of Australia's land, air and sea operations to be displayed. A stunning light-filled atrium adds additional extensive display space, as well as improved circulation and reflection areas for visitors. At the rear of the main building, the space is repurposed with a new and more extensive multi-level Anzac Hall, providing a seamless visitor journey connected to the rest of the memorial. Beyond the main building, a new precinct completes an emotive visitor experience. Here, the Bean Research Centre will be the new centrepiece of research and access to collection records. Once complete, visitors will be able to discover more stories and artefacts and gain a more comprehensive understanding of Australia's outstanding history of service.
We also need to be able to tell the stories of what is happening today. What are the men and women in our Navy, our Army and our Air Force, what are they doing today to take an unclassified feed from Defence and have it on a large screen, whether it's at Kapuka or the submarine base or the flight line somewhere overseas?
A standout feature of the future plan is the Places of Pride display, which highlights war memorials and cenotaphs across the country in a searchable, interactive showcase.
Whether it's Goondiwindi or Albany or Devonport, and that visitors would be able to put in the name to see that the Australian War Memorial has a direct link to all of those cenotaphs and memorials the length and breadth of Australia. No group of Australians has worked harder, nor given more, to shape those values than 2 million Australian men and women who wear and have worn the uniform of the Royal Australian Navy, the Australian Army and the Royal Australian Air Force.
Expanding the memorial will take some time, but it will finally grant this beloved landmark the space it needs to commemorate selfless service, to become a place of healing, and to educate generations to come.
The Australian War Memorial, directly opposite Parliament, reminds our political decision makers of the price attached to some of these decisions. We have a responsibility which is no less in making the decision to send Australians to war, to then tell their stories once they have returned, and to do it now.